Oh, Sam and Kenny. Becky is a cop. Dude, I love the summer PD outfits. Nugget. Sky and Carlos. Oh look, it's our wedding! Our cute wedding. Nolan. Rip Bauer. Miss Bauer. Oh, the purple.
Woohoo! Oh, I'm so glad you guys all enjoyed that.
Oh, you guys didn't see any of that. Bad streamer's bed.
Hold on. Now I gotta get Discord back up. Here we are. Yeah, I'm really sorry, everybody. Let's just throw that out there. I forgot to mute in the Discord, so I am sorry about that. And I was talking in the chat, so you probably heard. And I didn't realize till afterwards. But wasn't that so good? All the memories. Daily worked so hard on that. And I'm happy that you guys all enjoyed it and got to see all your stuff. It was awesome. You guys can mute and talk whenever. It's fine. No, not to everybody. Sorry, that was to the admins. Everybody told me I was typing as well, but I couldn't click off from it because I had my screen being captured. So I'm sorry. But thank you for trying to tell me. All right, so what? Hold on, I'll fix my Discord mic. I'll attempt to.
Listen, Liz, I'm like trying to like do prep casework because I finally just got all the information I needed. Okay, all right.
So how's everybody doing? Are you excited to find out what we've been working on?
Can we go back? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. When we're listening. Let's see. Can we go back? Is it here?
Shoot, what's going on with it? So how does it sound? Because I don't see anything different.
With what?
This is my mic is weird.
I mean, you sound like the same test that you always sound like.
Okay, then it's just me, guys. Sorry. It's just my voice.
There we go. You guys can see it.
Okay, so we'll get on to it then, I guess. If my mic is good. All right, so yeah, I really hope everybody enjoyed the video. We really wanted to show everyone the feeling that we hope to bring to you all going forward. We've all asked you here because we have something really exciting to announce, and we hope that you all can get excited about it as well. Coming next year, oh my god, I don't even want to say it. My heart is pounding. I'm so excited, but like nervous. June, you say it. Somebody else say it. No one's gonna say it. It's gonna be
Test is stinky.
I can blurt it out thoughtlessly if you'd like.
Go for it. Just say it.
Wait, where are the notes?
Oh my god.
All right, I got this. Are you ready? We're gonna be doing a wipe, guys.
Oh,
Just
I
let
was
that sink in.
here for you.
Sorry?
Oh,
Oh,
I
you can
was
say
gonna
it.
come-
Say it.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a dance party,
No.
guys. Yeah,
at
Oh,
it's
Ravage's
gonna be
house.
Buck social.
they're gonna be doing a wipe. Oh, a full wipe, not like a bathroom wipe
yeah.
or a half wipe.
Yeah.
A wipe.
Wipe that your finger falls through the toilet paper and then you gotta really scrub it good afterwards.
That's too much.
No.
What
That's
the
too
hell,
much.
Jess?
That's too much.
Let's just not have a repeat of the last time this meeting happened between you two in here.
So yeah, we're really excited and pretty passionate about this wipe. It's gonna be a bit different than the wipes that we've had in the past. There's gonna be a lot of changes, but we're really eager to tell you all about it. So that's what we're gonna do. There's gonna be a lot of things to take in from the meeting. We have it outlined for you guys, and we're gonna go through it all as best as we can. Each of us will talking about our respective changes we've all been working on very hard for the last few months at least. We'll talk about them and then we'll take some questions. There's going to be a lot of questions and we're not going to be able to get through them all, of course. So I have channels set up in the Discord after the meeting. We'll open those channels up for everybody. We're going to have a wipe questions channel and we have a wipe facts channel. So if we see the same questions coming up, we're going to throw them in the facts channel. At the moment, it is only the admins that know about it, not the mods or the GTA moderators or anything. They don't know much of the details, so they won't be able to help out straight away. So give us a little bit of time to answer your questions and everything. So I'm sure the first question on everyone's mind is when we're going to be doing it. We don't have a hard date right now, but we do plan by the end of January to have it done. Some pins moving on there. We may have another meeting to let you guys know what's going on with it. We're not sure on that yet, but we do hope for the first few weeks in January we'll have a better idea of the date and what's going forward. So keep an eye on the Discord. We're going to be giving out information as it goes along. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. And the next question, I guess, is probably why. Why are we doing it? There's a lot of reasons. Most of all, I feel that the current state of the server culture has come to a point that drastic measures need to be taken. We're doing our utmost to try and recognize where things went wrong, what is wrong, and what we can do to take this community back to where it used to be. So we recently did the community support application. Not everybody filled out that application, but on there was a question, and it said, what was the history of TwitchRP and how did it start? And everybody had very, very different answers for that. And I thought it would be fun to bring it into this. So I thought that maybe we would tell the story of how TwitchRP came to be. One, because I know we can get back to it. Another, because, yeah, the responses were all over the place. And I think it'd just be fun to find out. So TwitchRP started back in August of 2015. There was a group of streamers that were role-playing on Moon server, and they, including Moon, decided they wanted to make a place for streamers that were safe, somewhere that they could RP with a set of rules that protected them and their storytelling. Yeah, a long, long time ago, exactly, Peachy. I think you were around for that. Somewhere that they could RP with a set of rules that protected them from in their stories that they were telling. From there, Strippin, Wish, Kiwo, Gent, and I believe there was a few others, so even I might have got that part wrong. So I'm very sorry if there was. I know that there was others that contributed to it. I'm not sure if they were admins exactly. But they started TwitchRP, and it was on ARC. Later on down the line, they brought on Game With Me, which you guys, some of you may know him. He hasn't been RPing as of late, but he's still with us and doing back end stuff. Not long after that, they handed it all over to him. And as the streamer slowly stepped back, he decided to take on more people to help. He then enlisted Joe Fudge. And then about a month later, I joined the team. That was around January, February 2016. Along with that was brought on Old Lady Gamer and Shorty Hage. Shorty's still with us, of course, as some of you know as well. You see him around as well. I was just trying to read the chat at the same time, which is a bad idea because then I lose my spot. For a while, it was just Arc we had, and there was no mods. It was crazy. It was like everybody had to like come up with their own thing. And now we have like 20 mods every time. But yeah, we started to venture into other games. We launched an Arc DLC for Wildcard. Like they opened their, it was the desert map anyways. They opened that on our server, so that was pretty awesome. We'd never done anything like that before, and they just came to us and they were like, we want to launch and showcase your server. So we did that. We also launched Conan Exiles with a streamer server for them as well. And we've had loads of games, loads of seasonal games and things until that. And then we decided to do GTA. We had a GTA server. Some of you guys might be around. I think Tyrant is definitely around then because we had a chat about that at the end of the night. Not many people were from then, but yeah, we had a GTA server back on TwitchRP before Ravage. It was interesting. It definitely was not anything that it is now. And then OG and Joe stepped down. Then about October 2018, we started talking. I had to go back through all of our notes to find these dates. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it's been so long. We started talking to Ravage about the possible opportunity to bring the RP communities back together. We spoke for a few months, and then we had the RP first merger for TwitchRP, and that was awesome. And Ravage has been the frontman, as you guys know, for GTA. Shaped it into, I'd say, one of the greatest GTA servers that there is. And that's where we are. It brings us up to today, basically. So there's your history that you guys are a part of for TwitchRP. And I just think that's just amazing. And I'm glad that you all know the story. Who's the Ravage guy? I don't know. Who's that Ravage guy? From there, I think the backbone of it is you guys. You're the community. You guys are what makes it TwitchRP. We're just, we're just the ones that, put it out there for you guys. You guys take care of it and we make it what it is. Together we are the ones that could bring it back. Basically, a great place to RP. A community that shows kindness to one another. A community that works collectively towards the RP. And I feel that's what we need to get back to. Fostering the RP that facilitates the wider community. I know we can all do it because we have done it before. Together with your help and changes we're about to propose to you, we hope we can get back to all these great moments that, well, you should see throwing in front of your face. Hopefully Dalo gets the thing up, and then we'll have the memories. We wanted them rolling throughout the stream, but it's taken a little bit, so we'll have that a little bit later. So all the moments that you saw earlier, and we have many more to come. So if you didn't see yours, don't worry, you'll see it soon, hopefully. And we want to make lots more moments like these. So why are we doing it? We want to do why we're doing what we are doing. I can't talk. The simple answer is we care so deeply for all you guys in the community that we feel it's the best thing for us at this time. So listen very carefully because we have a lot of information. Oh my God, what is going on in there? We have so much information to give you guys. So please keep an open mind. I know some of you guys are like, what the hell are they doing? But we're going to explain it all. It's going to be good. We'll get through it together. So first, I'll give you guys an outline of what we're going to do. Where each of us are going to talk about the changes that we've been working on. We've all been working on it together. We've had lots of meetings. So first we'll hear from Dalu about some PD changes. Jarvis and Shun are going to talk about DOJ and penal code changes. Tins and EB, sort of, are going to talk about med. EB's not here. He is working on it. He's currently at work. So we have a little thing to read out from him. And then Tins is going to talk about businesses. I don't know if we have things from the devs, because that was asked and then I don't remember the answer. So I'm going to say
Jetsy has something for us.
Jetsy does. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, I put it in brackets, devs. That's right. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I do remember now. And I am rushing because I'm super nervous. And Ravage has already told me to slow down. So I'm trying, but it's hard. So I'm sorry if I'm rushing, guys. So yeah, first thing I want to talk about is the rules. I'm not going to talk too much about them because we're going to bring them out to you guys soon.
I don't have to.
But we are making a lot of changes to the rules. We want to. Our focus is getting them back to the core RP rules. Those are currently being worked on, and we should have them out the first half of January. Princess, I'm trying. Okay. I needed a drink. So rule changes are coming. Not yet. I'm not going to talk about them because there's a lot. I want you guys to get all this information, and then, you know, we'll trickle out the rest of the information so we can do it in batches, and it's not like information overload, you know. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is a very something we've never done before on TwitchRP. I know that other servers have done this, but we've never done this here. We're going to do a whitelist wipe. So no one panic. This means that we'll be starting the server with an all-new set of whitelisted apps. We plan to have it up with enough time for everyone to apply before the server's up, so you will know if you're going to be on it. So you will have enough time. Don't panic, I said, don't panic. If you're already whitelisted, we're going to have a code posted in the Discord for whitelisted only people that you put it into your application. That way we will look at your apps before everybody else's. So you guys will have priority for people that aren't already whitelisted. We will go through your applications first. And we will know if you have applied before. Your applications, your past applications will still be on our system. And when you put in an application, it tells us how many apps you have besides that one. So we will know if you already have one on there as well. So those will be in a first come, first serve basis like we have usually. No, it's just for GTA, sorry. It's just a GTA application wipe. Because seasonal applications is something separate and it's for all things, it's fine. So if anybody does try to give the code and they're wasn't whitelisted before, there will be repercussions. So don't do it. Don't do it. That's kind of all I have on it. I know that's a lot to take in. So I'm going to move on. You guys will be able to ask questions later and in the Discord. So, yay. Dalu, are you ready?
Send me in last, coach.
Okay, Tins, are you ready?
Yeah, I can
Well,
go.
there are some questions coming up, just to we should maybe take just a couple, just to reassure everybody. You will need to reapply again. We're going to have the whitelist up at the same time as the server's up now. We plan to have the whitelist up after Christmas. And we'll have it up while you're playing on the server. You put your app in and we'll get you onto the next server. And then you will start the next server with the new application. If we had a character, well, I'll get into that specifics later, actually. When is the wipe happening? January, the end of January. Okay, I think we're good. Go ahead, Tins.
Okay, first off, hello. So I'm going to start with businesses first. To quell any fears, if you currently own a business that has a physical location, a store, mechanic hub, boutique, whatever it is, you will get your business back after the wipe. Let me see what I have for my notes.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn you up because you're quiet to me. I know that they're not hearing you very well, so.
Okay, so just to repeat, that if you do have a business now, a current business that has a physical location that was given to you by the devs, that is coming back with after the wipe. You will have your business. We want to do that because we are pushing more and more businesses out, and we want to push a more player-run economy. We want to give you guys creative outlets to do things. And we also want to have the stores and that available when people come back after the wipe, because there's going to be instant job market. People are going to need mechanics. They're going to need salespeople. They're going to need cooks and waitresses and whatever else they want for their restaurants and so on. So that it gives more role play opportunities right out of the chute, I guess, is the best way to put it. We also have some plans for some changes to kind of specialize and to help the businesses. I want to start hopefully after, it won't be right away, but we'll give specialty items to each place to kind of help them stand out, to kind of corner different markets and so on. So if you're a ramen shop, maybe we'll give you some ramen recipes or something, and different things like that, just to sort of help cater to your niche and what you want to do, and give the player base a bit of a variety of different places to go and things like that. We'll also be opening up a lot more opportunities for businesses. So, start, using your thoughts and all that, and try to think of, different ways to do it, because we don't need just restaurants, and we don't need just bars, and we don't need just mechanic shops, but there's some new ones that are coming. There's like a little makeup boutique. There's also the skate shop. So there's going to be some interesting things coming. So, whatever you can think of, I know the devs are excited to try and help too down the road, to try and make those ideas a bit of a reality, but those are going to be a work in progress. Then as for medical, EB wrote a letter for me to read. And
if you want, I can read that for you. I already read through it.
Yeah, if you want to read it.
Okay. So EB, again, he's working, but it says, "Hello, everyone. I'm EB," which I think is kind of funny because clearly he's not saying it. You might recall me from such memorable roles as GTA server admin or Nugget. However, I now return with a new role. Think kitchen nightmares, except I'm trying to fix a hospital, not a restaurant. There are many areas that need to be addressed, and since I'm still at work, I will leave the finer details to the lovely and talented Tinsley. Needless to say, it's all hands on deck, folks. Medical is in dire need of TLC, so I've decided to bring Mac Callahan back into the fold, and hopefully with a little elbow grease, we can get everything back up and running smoothly with zero problems, be these issues with workflow or personal disputes. I will say the fact that I'm still hearing about clicks being an issue is troubling, but believe me when I say it ends here. If you're a member of LSMS, engaging in and promoting such an unhealthy work atmosphere, you'll be looking for a new job in the immediate future. This is a game at the end of the day, and there is zero roleplay value in trying to ostracize people to the point that they up and quit. It's toxic, it's anti-productive, and it simply will not be tolerated any longer. I'm sure many will not agree with the forthcoming decisions. However, at this point, we're pulling up the weeds to save the garden. And that was from Evie.
So to play off of his message about pulling the weeds to save the garden, some of the things that we are going to be changing is we want to make MedRP much more player friendly, less intimidating. Stream the paperwork and the SOPs to make those less intimidating as well. You would not believe the pile of forms I was digging through today. And we want it to be that any person with a medical background or not feels welcome and at ease doing medical roleplay. Medical roleplay is one of those rare situations where the entire server delivers roleplay to you. You will meet every player on this server at some point, if you are doing EMS in particular, if you are a doctor, because everybody goes down at some point. So you will meet them all. And it's like such a good opportunity to to build relationships, to make friends. You even get the good gossip, and then you can get into some RP stories, like that too. And we want that to be a fun environment. We don't want this to be a job, because we are ultimately playing a game. And also, one of the other major changes in particular will be with therapy role play. We're going to be moving them to be more independent, which means we're going to take them away from the hospital. This will help promote various types of therapeutic role play. If you want to come in and be a quirky therapist, knock yourself out. If you want to be a highly valued psychiatrist, knock yourself out. I'm also going to try to open up some opportunities for therapists to be able to be official court-appointed therapists or official therapists that work within LSMS and with the SASP. And hopefully we'll get that worked out before the wipe and all that, to see if we can get some more role play value for people that do want to do the therapy RP. I think somebody asked what happens to you if you are in medical now. You will have to reapply. We are taking, I think, a core group of people to begin with the restructure and with whatever else that EB has planned, and build from there. We're going to build from the ground up again, and see if we can make it a more friendly and positive. I think that's all I have to say, but I can answer questions too.
I'll go through them with you if you want, real quick. Cannoli asked, any chance that we could apply for businesses before the wipe so there's not an awkward situation where there's no businesses around the city? The answer to that would be no. Not until after the wipe will we be taking more business applications. We actually made a effort to ensure that we did this again recently, before the wipe, or even before the announcement, to ensure that we had lots of businesses in the works, even adding new ones, knowing that we would in the future have those people coming back and opening their businesses and making sure that it's a thriving city from day one. Nemo asked a question, but Ravage answered it. Bulldog, what if you're accepted and was just waiting for your building? I think that was answered by Tinsley.
Yeah, you're still going to get it now. Yeah, you're going to have it. They're putting everything up now. You'll be able to do it up until the day of the wipe.
The same answer would go for you, Sir Marks.
I don't think we should go through all the meetings. I think we should just...
Yeah, I think that's actually all of them, to be honest.
When I answered questions, I just did the ones that were in the stream. I didn't take the ones in the Discord.
Well.
Yeah, well. All right, are you ready for Gyros?
Yeah, let's go with DOJ.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to cover a few things that have been brought to our attention, some questions I anticipate that people are going to have regarding the DOJ and the wipe, and about some developments in the pipeline for the DOJ. First, I kind of want to address what's been stated about culture issues that are within the DOJ that do extend out to RP more broadly. And, in recent months, we have shifted the burden for conviction to be less strict, so it's more 51-49 at this point. And this is open to more creative role play and arguments. Overall, I think this experiment has worked pretty well with the DOJ and PD and to their favor to some extent. There are still a couple issues, and I want to remind folks about fairness and fun in role play, because there seems to be this common occurrence of people getting to a level of frustration that can breed a sort of out-of-character toxicity. This pervasive attitude that winning or losing in court or in the cells is some kind of social currency, or that it has an inherent value in roleplay, is leading to out-of-character toxicity. And this is roleplay, and the outcome of the battle is less relevant than how you got there. It's supposed to be fun, right? This is a game. Some tips that I actually ripped off of you, Carry On, directly. He sent me a very nice message, but I wanted to kind of punctuate some things here. So DOJ members need to continue finding creative ways to challenge warrants. You got to consider the burden of proof, like I just said, 5149. Consider dropping charges to a lesser charge to be successful role play instead of needing the whole warrant to be tossed out for you to feel like you were. I mean, you got the role play out of it. You know, whether it is tossed out or not is not really the point, right? Something about forensics, I think they've been introduced and they provide a lot of counterplay for the cops, and we really should value it strongly. And you know, provided there's a good narrative, but please keep that in mind. We have these mechanics that our wonderful devs implemented for us for a reason, and it's to expand the role play. All this kind of applies to the broader community as well. It's to reinforce this middle tier of criminal activity. This is supposed to encourage players to go along with the role play of arrest and fines instead of not getting caught and letting charges stack. I kind of want to remind people that the amount of charges or warrants you have when you're arrested will correlate directly to the leniency you're shown by officers, lawyers, judges, etc. So something to keep in mind. There's some really strange fights that people try to push, and I just want people to utilize the tools and the RP at your disposal. Bench trials, summaries, open court, appeals, and civil cases, they're all there for you guys to use. I'd like to see this newer generation of lawyer RPers really trying to drive this forward. And please remember, we work with the PD all the time, and we need to respect that they also have their RP reasons for their actions. All cops are different, and they're going to process in a unique way, just as attorneys will often argue in unique ways as well. So once it's clear if there's a situation that one party can't be convinced, escalate the role play, not the aggression, by using the tools that I mentioned that you have for RP at your disposal. And I want to stress for PD that, you know, we want to facilitate roleplay for all parties, and if you need to take action to further the roleplay, but you can't get a justice or something, follow through and deal with the legal consequences later. Don't feel the RP or fear the RP repercussions, because just play it out. You know, let's weave these stories together and allow the RP to take us where it does without worrying too much. And same goes for lawyers and DOJ. We got to suspend disbelief, understand the flow of roleplay without unnecessary intense scrutinization of PD and their methods. I'm not asking you not to do your jobs, but rather to enhance the RP, be cordial with the people that we work with the most. So for a little bit more lighter-hearted news, DOJ is getting a facelift, and I know we've been asked a lot about this. Some people are moving into more senior positions. This will support and facilitate more roleplay for everyone from crims, cops, paralegals. The penal code is being completely rebalanced when it comes to times and fines, so you won't be getting charged more for a speeding ticket than shooting a cop. Certain definitions that needed some attention, adding new charges such as smuggling, corpse desecration, canine protections, and the changes that were discussed some time ago regarding traffic laws, as well as the severity of punishment for assault and battery. And finally, for the wipe, I expect people have a few questions, so I'll address this one in anticipation. Since there is a new whitelist, there will be some lawyers on the ground when the server launches to be serious about the RP and keep momentum moving for the DOJ. If you don't get a confirmation from me directly, then assume you'll need to retake the bar and realty exams. Pretty much all I had. So if anyone has questions, I will answer a couple.
The only one I've seen in our list was one that was asked about, do you have to reapply for DOJ, which you just answered.
I just answered, yeah.
So I think we're good.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeesh.
Okay. We have a few new things coming in with PD, but first and foremost,
oh my God, I was muted. I'm sorry. I'm like yelling. Hattie had a clarification real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to get this out there so everybody knows. Go for it.
Wait, so you're making an announcement real... Wait, what?
No, Hattie. She had a clarification to make. I am pro. I know.
Okay.
She said tag her in. I'm tagging her in. She's not talking.
Hattie, use your voice. Your outside voice.
Does she have permission to talk in here?
She was talking earlier.
Yeah.
She's gone. She's like, tag me in. All right. So we just want to make a clarification real quick. The code that you put in does not guarantee you will be whitelisted. That guarantees that we will look at your application before people that were never whitelisted before. So it gives you priority of us looking at it. That is it. You still need to fill out your application properly or we will deny it. So I just want to clarify that. That's all that's about. We wouldn't like wipe the apps and then tell you we're going to instantly whitelist you. There's no point in doing that. So yeah, wanted to clarify that real quick. Go ahead, Taylor.
Okay. So with PD, we're trying to dial it all the way back, make it much more roleplay friendly. We're going to be doing interviews and academies pretty much same day, how they used to be. I will be again having certain cops on the ground for day one of the launch. I will be wiping PD though for the most part. On the back of that though, I do have a couple more whitelisted jobs to come into PD, which is going to be a dispatch whitelisted job, which any civilian can apply for, and a forensics. You might have seen the announcement for applications. We're going to have a forensics whitelisted job within PD as well. That's separate, its own separate department, same with dispatch. Moving forward off of that. Pretty much right now, everything's still a work in progress, but we're going to be bare bonesing and completely redoing the SOPs and the police interactions document. Again, it's just going to be from the ground up. Like absolutely everything is getting redone. If you don't, again, like Gyro said for the DOJ, if you don't hear from me, just assume that you have to reapply to the San Andreas State Police. That's pretty much all I've got for PD so far.
So I just want to make a comment really quick. There's a reoccurring question, and it goes through all the different whitelisted jobs. It's, do I have to reapply? What we're doing is making our best efforts to ensure that from day one, it is a fully functioning city. So you will have cops in place, you'll have lawyers in place, you'll have justices in place, you'll have EMS and doctors all in place. It doesn't mean you can't apply to those positions from day one. It's just we're going to go through those applications and then pull them as quickly as possible to get those all filled. So please don't worry about that. Tess, you're muted.
Should I
Yes.
answer a couple of questions, if that's okay?
Yeah.
If you resigned from PD on good terms and were told you could return, would this be honored on white? No, because we're going to be completely redoing the entire training program. We're eliminating completely the classroom portion. It's just going to be interviews in academy, mostly done in character. So it shouldn't be that long of a process in the future. I've pretty much just explained how the PD hiring process will work. We'll put out that there's going to be interviews that day. The interview will be done in character on the back of that an academy.
How will the PD hiring process work? You've already answered that though.
Yeah, I just answered that.
Okay. That's all I see at the moment. Oh, if you are currently PD on good terms, will you have a bit of a priority? The loop.
Which one was that, sorry?
If you are currently in PD and on good terms, will you have some sort of priority? I'm assuming in getting back.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to prioritize people. One of the biggest things is I feel like is a good thing to move forward and to create better role players, fresh faces. So I'm just going to take people as they come into PD. I'm not going to say that anyone in particular is going to get priority. But if you show up for an interview before others, then that just happens to be.
I think you answered this, but will existing troopers need to redo academy if they are reapplying?
Yes.
Archer, that was already answered. There's going to be 3 different departments.
Yes, there's going to be SAXI, as I call it, which is San Andreas Crime Scene Investigation, which is our forensics department. I have yet to go over the apps for that if you have an application in. Obviously, we'll be bringing you on board for the wipe and in advance, so within the next week probably, to get that whole department squared away. Same with dispatch. I haven't put applications out for the dispatch yet because the person that's running that department, I still need to talk to them.
Will the Aussies get more love for PD?
What?
I think they're asking if you're going to do more hiring for the Australian time zone.
Because interviews and the entire hiring process will be done on an in-character basis. It's going to be like live interviews, so it's not like we're going to have 800 apps backed up anymore. So whoever the AU command is can do interviews and academies at their will. It's going to be a much simpler hiring process.
Kuba, I think that it was just answered, right? Any chance of other new divisions of LEO like DOC, Park Rangers down the line? We always have things that we're working on. We just have nothing to release at the moment in regards to those.
Yeah, it's not set in stone right now, but I believe DOC is in the works, and LSSD will probably come back with that.
And related, there'll be something that'll be talked about when the devs come in. TM.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give it back to Tess.
I think Ravage wanted to come in and talk about some stuff.
Well, get in here, Ravage.
Called out.
All right, Daddy, calm down. Okay.
He's never called me that again.
Don't call you what, Daddy?
Yeah.
Always call him Daddy now.
So I want to preface this with I'm still retired. Number 1. But I just wanted to come in and make sure that this was explained because I think this is a really important part of what everyone wanted to do for this. So when they were talking to me about it, I think a lot of people are just struggling with the way to kind of put it. One of the big things that became that we lost over the years, like RP First, we used to do all of these like curated events, or we used to put events out for the players consistently, where we'd help enable people's storylines. And then over time, there became this real taboo thing as we got bigger and we scaled more, that it became bad when we would go out and we try to make a story. Anytime that we did anything admin related to help enable a story, people would say admin abuse, favoritism, and we stopped it at a certain point over the last, I think it was like last year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, where it became almost about we just had to let everyone just tell their story, and if we gave anything to anyone ever, that it was just viewed as favoritism, or it was viewed as just bad, right? And one of the things we really want to do and focus on with this wipe was the fact that we want to really normalize the fact that there being curated story events and things being DM'd for our player base is something that we want to normalize and make sure that people understand that that's going to be a key part for our server going forward. That it was one of the big things with TRP in the past that made amazing memories, right? For a lot of different people that mix things up for people, right? If you look at some of the biggest story events that happened that involved people or new people got involved in, they were stories that were either minimally admin guided or helped, or they were heavily admin guided or helped. And it's something that we want to get back into more with this, and we want to normalize. It's going to be a normal part of the server where we go through stories that people can opt in or opt out of. They don't have to participate in, but will be guided and helped along with admins to help DM and push story on the server when, you know, maybe some people have their story all figured out, right? Like I generally have my story figured out. There's a lot of people on the server, they're strong role players. They've always got the story. People gravitate towards them, right? Because they have a story figured out. But that isn't the case for every single role player. And there's so many people that are new to role play over the last couple of years. And, you know, sometimes people need something like that, you know, a true North Star to look towards. And that's something that we want to provide going forward. You know, who knows? Maybe I come out of retirement to do that sometimes, but that's a big thing that we want to do. We want to normalize that DMing content that's not disruptive to the entire server, but is, you know, there for people to participate in if they want to. Twitch critical role play, is that I don't know. Are you guys gonna take it back over? I'm retired.
You're the one who said you wanted to talk. What are you talking about?
You gotta take my prune juice. Gotta take my prune juice and my bingo dabber.
Someone's just asked the question.
Socks on.
I feel is important to answer. And that is, will there be a memory wipe of the wipe? The answer to that is no.
No one cares. To be honest, I think what everyone cares about comes down to the fact of, you know, breaking up toxic cliques. You know, not going back and just reforming the same gang you've been a part of for the 2 years and the same members have recycled out of a million times, right? Like, I think that's the only thing that people care about, right? Is those types of things, because that's what's become toxic on the server. That's what's become toxic across all of GTA.
All right. Miss Tess, you're muted again. She's a professional, guys. Do the devs want to take the mic?
I mean, sure.
It's all yours.
To start with, we're not actually going to take up too much of your time because we, over the last 9 months, have tried to move to a more, I guess, agile release schedule for content. Part of our mission has been to keep up momentum and keep up morale within our dev team. It's a very small team and it can be very difficult to get involved, which is something we're going to be working on in the new year, trying to make it a little bit more a little bit easier to get into, because it's very hard to onboard people, which is part of the problem. In terms of like major feature changes before this occurs, I wouldn't expect too much. I think we really burned a lot of energy getting up to this point. It took a lot out of us, and for the holiday season and for like up until the wipe, most of us I think are trying to resettle ourselves and sort of just reposition ourselves to continue into the new year. That being said, we're all still working because we're idiots. In terms of major feature applications, sorry, I'm reading while I'm talking and it's a terrible idea. In terms of major features, I think the big thing that that I personally will be working on in the new year, and will be streaming and continuing to try and be as interactive as possible in doing so, will be reworking the pipeline from crime to money laundering to hustling to profits. That will enable better investigative roleplay, will enable hustlers to do more interesting things. I think our big goal economically is to make it easier for people to have the things they need to roleplay, to mitigate the perceived need to grind. And that's something that you would have seen, is that we're trying to get more opportunities to make money and make it easier to acquire the things you need to tell the stories that you'd like to. I see one question in meetings already. Will there be developer applications in the future? Yes, we will be going through stuff like that again. I have been talking to a couple of people in the background, people I know and people I communicate with. We're trying to we are trying to improve that side of things. We're trying to reduce the grind. These things take time, and every time we're working on some things, we have to work on other things. Yeah, as Fingerguns has said, he spent 754 hours on dev this year. I've done much the same. I dev'd almost full time in the last month. As for the question that was asked previously regarding that I said I would bring up again, Jutsi, are you awake?
Yes.
Do you want
Yes,
to
I
talk about stuff that you're working on?
I sure can. So I don't have a script like you guys. I'm just gonna wing it.
You think I have a script? I'm naturally this charismatic.
I have no script, sir.
I have a script and I still sound like shit, so don't worry.
So with the coming weeks and potentially months, depending, we have got a bunch of new interiors that we're going to be adding to the server. We have subscribed to Gabs's pack, so we are going to be rolling out in small doses so that it doesn't overwhelm people having to download new assets and everything all at once. So the first 3 that I'm going to be rolling out is going to be the Pizza This Pizzeria, the Uwu Cat Cafe, and the Tuna Hub down by the docks. Are the first 3 that I've got done and ready to go. We're just waiting for some final tests to be done on those, and they should be in very soon. The next 3 that I've got planned are going to be 4 I've actually got planned for the next one. We've got we're going to be redoing the prison and updating the prison. We're going to be adding a ranger station, and we're going to be adding a new Davis PD. So the south side will have its own police station in that little building there. And Polito PD will be getting a makeover as well as part of Gabs's pack. And yeah, so as the weeks to months roll on, we will roll out these interiors. It's going to be great because it's going to facilitate a lot of roleplay out of these areas as well. I personally love the new prison layout because it's a lot more inescapable in a sense. But yes, so it's definitely going to be big. And I think I'm just kind of rambling, so I hand it back to you.
Hello. Sorry?
I just wanted to answer a couple of things that people have been asking about that weren't quite answered.
Well,
the first...
we can do questions after. I just want to get this part out, and then we do questions because we are going a bit long already. So real quick, I just want to say, the wipe stuff aside, some good news, some happy news is, as we put out last night, your GTA moderators, you have now our Coco, Aurelia, and Seekerhead. Those have come up, so congratulations to them. Yay! And we want to announce who's come up for the community support role as well. We have 5 people that made it up. And that is, going through the list, Hypertext, Caveman Gaming, Not Irish, Tyrant, and the Red Bogey. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's all of them. So congratulations to you guys. You already have the role in the Discord. Like I said before, they aren't going to know anything about this, so don't ask them loads of questions. They're going to be learning this stuff as you do. We're going to give them as much information so they can try and help. So wait for the admins to give you guys stuff, not them. So I think that's all we had for information to give you guys, and I think we can probably go through some questions. We don't want to go too long because there's going to be a lot of questions, but if we want to go through this now, we can start going through the questions. Yay!
I'll start. One of them was about dead characters and bringing them back. We're not doing a memory wipe, so it's really important that you guys understand that. But we are going to allow for a process in which you can request to bring a character back, and we'll be much more lenient on the wipe. But after that, we'll go back to a more strict standards. You guys have to understand, when you bring a character back, it affects a lot of people at times. So we have to take that into consideration. Okay. As far as the businesses, I just want to reiterate, we're empowering the players to do as much as they can possibly in game with these businesses. So we'll be adding more of them as we continue on after the wipe, and that we'll also be monitoring them. So businesses do become, derelict and nobody's looking over them or using them, we'll close them out so it gives other players opportunities. Will the CSI job be rolled out after the wipe or before, Delu?
I answered. It's going to be launching day 1 after the wipe.
All right. Any other questions? All the ones above, if you still have a question, just go ahead and retype it real quick and we'll answer them.
Well, above what? Because I'm scrolling through.
There's just a lot of talking, so I'm not sure where the questions are, where they were at. Are there going to be fixes for vanishing, reappearing inventory after Tsunami? Both personal inventory, e.g. stuff missing or dropped stuff back in pockets, and building storage, e.g. water going missing from refrigerators. Hattie?
So that's still ongoing. Like, we haven't stopped trying to nail this particular bug down. It's like, I'm not sure how I can fully explain how frustrating it is to work on. Patience, it is still being actively worked on.
Okay. Bulday asks, can there be talks with gangs to discuss property territory, as there are a few new gangs pop up and worked hard to get established and will lose their decent story to wipe? Well, you're not going to lose any story, first of all. Nobody's losing their story. We're not doing a wipe. So there's really no need to carry on those conversations. Go ahead.
So I believe we mentioned that is Tinsley going to be talking about it? We did have someone talking about crime stuff later. Or is that being shunted out of the meeting for another day?
No, I don't remember. I don't think we had any.
Okay, that's fine.
No, that's still a work in progress, I think.
Okay, well,
what you're referring to.
The process for gangs to form, and ensure that we can both assist them on the back end, as well as enable them to tell stories, is something we're working on in the back end, and it will not be as frustrating, I think, to get those stories going.
Okay. From Barry. So let's say I get whitelisted code and I apply, but my application doesn't go through for some reason. However, my business that I own will still be around and active. What happens to it? Will it get moved to the new owner, or what exactly happening to it? If the owner of a store, for some reason, which I don't foresee at the current where we're standing, doesn't get back onto the server, then it would just go up for somebody else to apply for. But that's a talk that we should probably have that we haven't had. Is it normal to be scared about not getting back in? I don't think you should be scared, honestly. Des?
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
I know, that's why I called your name. Is it normal to be scared about not getting back in?
Is it normal to be scared? I mean, yes. I mean, anybody can be worried, but I wouldn't be too worried. We're not doing this. We're not doing this to get rid of everybody. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be worried about it. That's why we are giving you guys a code so we can look at your applications first and go for them. And most of you guys know how we do the process because you've been whitelisted before. We give you the reasons when we deny you. So if there's anything that's wrong and we give you the reason, just pay attention to that. And then the next time you probably be golden, you know? So I wouldn't be too worried about it. This is my answer.
Let's go to the next one then. I don't know why you're asking this one, but will previous crime and records be gone, or how will that happen? Or would you recommend RPing this out? I always recommend that you RP it out. I don't know that we've actually breached that subject yet, but we will internally, and then we will share that information with you.
I don't know where you
Spazzy.
are. Find you.
I'm at Spazzy, SD Raccoon 1, at 5:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which you're not in.
No.
So add a few hours.
5:16.
13.
5:15.
13. Is there any info on the updated cooking? We did not discuss that today. And that really doesn't have to do with the wipe, so I'm going to skip that one really quick. I would just ask you to put something in feedback or suggestions to get that answer. What was the purpose behind the gang poll? Can we get some transparency about that, please? So if you notice, we've put out a lot of new polls and or feedback for you guys because we are trying to get as much feedback from you guys as possible. As far as the gang poll, we were trying to determine how many people were in gangs currently, how many people were active, how many people were sitting into the Discord, just so we kind of got an idea of what averages were. Will the Discord be completely wiped too? No.
No, but the GTA whitelisted role will be wiped. If we're like, how are we going to actually like remove people and then add them in? So we decided that we're just going to get rid of the role and start the role over. So you'll still be in the Discord. We're not going to kick you out or anything like that. We're going to start the role over so everybody starts fresh on that too. But you'll still be in all the same channels, so it'll be fine.
What is all going to be included in this wipe besides whitelisting and whitelisted jobs? Do you mean, Izzy, what's all going to be there on launch? Because everything is going to be there. If you want to retype it, I'll get your question in a second. If you just got accepted to TRP today, do you have to reapply? Yes. If you got accepted today, or if you got accepted 3 years ago, you're going to reapply. You're going to use that code, and we will get to your applications as quickly as possible.
You can use, you can use your same character. But we're not making you. We're not, not character wiping or anything like that. And if you mean your application, you can use whatever character you want in your application. You don't have to use that on the server.
Kyle or Gov, will we be seeing rules surrounding the idea of 17 more normal driving on the server? Notice that quite a few people in both Crims and Service drive quite recklessly, sometimes for no reason other than must go fast.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no on that either, unless you can role play it out through the DOJ. More
we are making some
driving.
Yeah, we are making some changes, but that's to, the laws that apply to those particular things.
Yeah, what we're trying to do with the rules is simplify them and not make them, we're trying to cut down on the fluff, basically. we have a lot of stuff on there that says the same thing over and over. So we want to condense it a bit and stop like holding people into like a box. We want it to be a bit more free. So a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Your interpretation of, you know, how far is this going to go before it's too far kind of thing. And just kind of letting you be able to role play freely without thinking about the rules constantly. Obviously without breaking the rules. So that's the idea behind them. No, but yeah, I don't think we would add anything that was adding a bunch more little rules for things like that, unless if it was something that was like drastically needed. So yeah.
Is there going to be a story to explain why everyone lost everything? Like a few wipes ago, they used the Gov Chiliad story for the crash. I mean, if you guys need a reason, we can give you a reason. That's fairly easy for us to do. Will there be a crime content update with this wipe that just isn't bank focused? I guess I could say yes and no. There will be some changes to crime, but we're not ready to release that information yet.
There's the one above it. Did you read that one?
I have a red line, so somebody moves stuff. Are people who are currently banned now going to be able to apply again after the wipe? Anyone who has been banned has a process that they go through to try and have that lifted. They would still have to go through that process. Inventory issues. It's edge case, and we have to live debug. Figures, you want to just Docker? Is Figures in here?
Figure God. No, it's not in here. Jetsy or Hattie, do you know what he was talking about?
Do you want to talk about those inventory issues?
That would have been what I previously said.
Okay.
These inventory issues are long running, very, very difficult to make. Like, we can't replicate it on our servers. We straight up can't. The only place that we can do it is live, and even then, it's edge cases. The reasons why it can seem so like common is often because of character volume. All we can do is get more information out of you guys adjacent to it and continue working based on that.
Perfect. So Ink, don't you think it's a bit strange to wipe the whitelist and not allow returning players to play characters they may have perma'd? I feel it should be a chance to start fresh, as well as admins server culture. We said that people could bring back characters, but it's going to be a process where they actually apply for that, depending on the impact that it would have on the server, simply because we're not doing a memory wipe of anyone. Do our criminal records wipe? We've already answered that. Will there be a rework on the phones so that we can hold text calls longer, time and date fixed, and potentially new apps that enhance RP, like trading, selling apps? That'd be you, Hattie.
As I did say when I was saying the whole dev spiel, right now, a lot of us have been developing full time for the server. In 2022, there's a very good chance that it'll happen. I cannot say that it'll happen before the wipe. I cannot say it'll happen in the month after the wipe. It is something we want to do. It is something we have made motions towards. We're all very tired.
Perfect. Shadow. Is the apartment and free car system going to be in place this wipe, or are we going to the OG days of running everywhere? We've had this discussion, and I think that we're still in the midst of it. So you'll have that answer prior to us actually going into the new server. Is there any plans to reduce whitelist times? Currently it's around 2 to 3 months. Sorry, this has been asked. Initially, you're probably going to see that some of the newer players are going to have to wait because we're obviously going to be processing everybody who is already whitelisted. And there's a process that we go through when we go through the applications, right? It's about need and other things. And we actually pushed those off for a short while because we've been planning this for some time. So you will definitely be seeing a lot more people on the server. Will group clothing be in day one, or do all clothing have to be resubmitted? Addie?
I will probably be trying to do a cleanup for that, but as far as I'm aware, if your clothing is in, it's already in.
Yeah, we're not wiping any of that kind of stuff, I don't believe, right?
I'm not pulling any content out of the server.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Will gun running still be a... Sorry. Will gun running still be a thing? Hattie already replied. It's being reworked. So it's still a thing. It just may operate slightly different. Will a new whitelist be like currently around 1 month wait time? I can't tell you what it's going to take, honestly, Hoover.
Well, we can't say if you like it's past like when the server starts, right? But before the server starts, we are going to try our hardest. We're going to be whitelisting like crazy to get all of you on there. We want to have as many of you on there as possible. So my goal personally is anybody that has applied up until when the server starts, we will have replied to your application in some form or another. So we don't expect to have long wait times at the start. No, we don't. But then after it starts, obviously it'll start to slow down again when we go through all the applications that have come through and everything.
Are we losing things like cars and houses? Simple answer, yes. Everyone is. It is definitely a wipe. So all of your possessions will be gone. But again, we are setting it up so that from day one, the entire server will be living. So there will be businesses and things for everybody to do from the second the server's open. Ask what's the window or time frame for the businesses to be moved to another owner in case the original owner was not able to make it to the server for some reason. Like example, I could apply multiple times and it would take time to be reviewed and accepted. By that time, the business could have a new owner and this might cause conflict. So you're asking what's the time frame to transfer it to a new player? Honestly, what that would do is end up causing a lot more work. We haven't had that discussion, so I don't know that we could answer it, to be honest. But it's something that we will discuss. If you feel that's something that needs to be done, then you guys should be making those attempts to do that through roleplay. For the chaos, do a full character wipe, no bringing back same characters, no one is allowed to know each other. Chaos, no Kona. There's going to be no Conan Exiles news in this meeting because we're talking about GTA. Sorry. Okay. Gonna go down. Please reconsider whitelist and whitelisted role wipes. Many of us, including myself, had to put a lot of mental effort to put time aside and mentally prepare for the big dedication to a community. I am the kind of person who says TLC is the way to go rather than blank slate. Try and improve upon the cons rather than redo everything, including that works. I mean, I'll let other people talk, but I can tell you this much. This is not something we decided overnight. This has been a very long conversation, and it's been a long conversation with a lot of people, so we are not going into this lightly. Anyone else?
I'm just reading it again. I didn't quite.
They're asking us to reconsider the whitelist.
Okay.
And the whitelist roles.
What Shun said. It is something that we've been talking about and discussing for months. It's not something we took lightly. We definitely put time into it and a lot of thought in the way we were going to bring this to you guys, and which is why I was so damn nervous in the start of it, was because we're just excited about what we're doing, and we really hope you guys can get excited too. I know it's scary because it's a big change and it's a lot that we're doing and a lot of information to take in, which is why we just kind of want to bring you guys it now and let you guys digest it, and then we'll slowly give you bits as we go along. So it is something we've thought about and planned for. and we do understand that you guys put a lot of time into the server and into the community, which is why we hope that you realize, or you've noticed that the state of the way that it is and the changes that we're trying to make to help fix it, and that you kind of want to help us in doing that as well by reapplying and seeing it get better, and we all do it together. So yeah.
Sonia, will this meeting be available to listen to later? I missed the whole first half of the meeting and am still working. Yes, find your favorite streamer and there's a VOD. Gotta go down. My buddy just got accepted today. Is that a flat rip to him, bud? No. He can jump on the server today and start role playing. The servers are not going down today, and they'll just have to reapply with the code in order to get on the new server. All right, Jules. We're going to have to bring this to a halt soon, guys, because we do have things that will be happening on the server that we need to bring it back up and get you all on for. Is it possible to look into having certain instructions or hints for some of the profession crafting options? We talked about that. We've gotten things like mod mills, etc. for it. And Hattie can chime in on this if they'd like. But here's the thing. A lot of this is about you having varied levels of understanding and skill. That's not represented by a number in the game, right? So we took away a lot of that. And now it's basically represented on your knowledge. So a lot of that's just getting to know the systems and being able to utilize them to your advantage over someone else, which gives you, your advantage in business. Did you want to say anything, Hattie?
Yeah. So one of the, this one has come up a lot, especially in regards to the upgrade system, which it can feel very opaque at a glance. Part of the point of that system, and I think what we're going to be doing moving forward a little bit more, is moving away from skill points and levels as a way to gauge your knowledge, rather tribal experimentation, learning through osmosis, learning through exploration, and learning through roleplay. I know that some groups have started doing this. They have been sitting down and, doing track days, actually sitting there, going through upgrades, figuring out what they do to cars, how they affect them, what works best for which vehicle. That's kind of what we were trying to encourage. If you know more about the system than someone else, you are more marketable. You have the ability to charge more because you have expertise. And that's kind of where things are going.
All right, perfect. As for your other two, Jules, if you have suggestions, just put them in the suggestion channel and we'll reach out to those. We're just really trying to focus on the wipe and the things that will be happening with it at this point. Thank you. I think someone mentioned something about trying to differ people away from cliques and gangs. How will this work with lore games such as Vagos, The Lost, for example, two of the biggest ones who have had a lot of the same people over the years? Well, first of all, who I think if you go into the crime org numbers, you'll find that those two are probably not the largest gangs. But we're making decisions that affects everybody equally. So to break up those cliques, as it were, we're going to implement things that allows for people to be more diversified in what they're doing and allow for them to have different role-playing experiences. We're just going back to focusing on the role play. Sorry, I'm new to TRP. I came in late to the meeting. Don't know if it's asked already, but do I have to resubmit an application? The answer is yes. So if I need to reapply and get denied with the code, would you be able to reapply with the code again?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, there you go. Tess says yes, so yes. And I stuttered only because I didn't think of that and we hadn't discussed it.
I mean, you're still whitelisted before, so.
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll do like a cutoff of when the server opens. We won't take the code anymore. If you get it in early, if you get your applications in early and you get denied up until maybe when we have the server open. Because we're planning on having this for a while before we actually have the server up. So there'll be plenty of time.
Misfit asked a question: can we get an option for non-medical staff, i.e. medicals who are online, to be able to res players who are injured, but as a counter they must have a bandage in their inventory? There are hood doctors, just so you know, so you do have the capability of having somebody who can res someone that is not a part of the medical field. But we're making every effort possible to ensure that EMS are always available. Do I have to? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we are going on a bit, so maybe we'll go through and get maybe 3 more questions. Do you think 3?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do I have to remake my character straight up, or everyone's still be there? Yes, everything will be gone, but do I have to save my presets for my characters? Will I get a shot to rename them? Hattie?
As it stands, I don't like. We may set up an export system before this happens. There's a non-zero chance. If you don't hear anything about it, what I used to do and what I still do, take screenshots. Take lots of screenshots of your entire character creation. That's the nuclear option. If we have the time, and we'll probably put that together. If you don't see an announcement, don't pull the trigger. Yeah, if you don't hear from us saying that there's an export function, I recommend taking those screenshots and preparing yourself.
And I got DM, so I lost my place. So somebody else is going to take over.
You can look, and I want to read something real quick that Ravage posted to clarify that from earlier. We are a little bit past it, but to clarify, he says that this is necessary to recover the health of the server. We'd rather put measures in place to offer accessibility options for whitelisting to people with anxiety, disabilities, or other accessibility issues. And that was to the question earlier about people being scared about getting re-whitelisted and putting their applications in. So I just wanted to touch on that because that was a good point.
You mind if I add something to that real quick?
Go for it.
I think, it's easy to panic immediately, but I think if people here really care about the community and the quality of roleplay, that people are going to apply, and that asking people to reapply is kind of a small ask in comparison for all of the hours of roleplay that you're going to get from it. And I think we're looking for those, the people who are really serious about this community and driving positive roleplay experiences and getting back to the story,
Definitely.
I agree.
That in the chat, so we're in agreement.
Yep. And on that, I think we'll just stop the questions there. If you guys have more questions, you could feel free to ask us them. The feedback and suggestions is always open as well. If you have suggestions or feedback on things.
I'm opening a channel. Sorry. So don't do it in feedback. Do it all. I'm opening a channel right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the questions that you guys have already put in here, so you don't have to put it in there, and I'm going to tag those questions and respond. I think all of us admins maybe can start doing that. In the white questions, just respond to those people that wrote the questions, and we'll answer those ones you've already taken the time to ask. And we'll open that up, and then the new ones can go in there as well, and we'll try to answer them.
Tess?
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. I'm just saying good job. Yeah?
could you do me a big favor and spin up a channel like that, specifically for development questions, just to keep them separated?
Yeah, can do. You want it in the
I'd appreciate
underneath?
that. Yeah, underneath is fine.
All right. Yeah,
It's just like I do know that a lot of feedback suggestions ends up being questions, and it might be helpful not just for now, but for in the future to be able to just dump questions. You know.
Yeah. So I'm going to tag
in a place where
Panic.
it'll be guaranteed to be found.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll put a dev one underneath, for questions on that kind of stuff. So we'll keep those separate. I just tagged everybody, so you can start putting your questions in there. We'll start answering the questions you guys have already asked in the community meeting, for you guys in there. So there's going to be a lot. We know that there's a lot of information we've given you. There's a lot we'll go over. There's a lot more to come. We have the actual date we still need to give you guys. There's also some pretty cool stuff that's coming in January that we can't talk about, that we're pretty excited to bring to you guys as well. So there's still a lot more to come, and it's not exactly about all this wipe stuff. So exciting things ahead. But there'll be lots more announcements in the Discord. There'll be lots more things that we'll tell you guys about. Yeah, so, and we'll do it slowly over time. So you don't have like information overload and panic and everything. But we really do hope that you guys can get on board, maybe see where we're coming from on this. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Does anybody else have anything? No?
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you
Board
in the Discord.
adjourned.
Piss off.
Later, nerds.
Just kidding. Love you guys. Bye.
All right. Well,